What's up? I'm Charles Bernard.
Hey, I'm JC Mason.
Welcome to Lightning Strike. What's going on, everybody? Welcome back to Lightning Strike. We're back with Frank Moscatiello today. Frank, welcome. It's good to have you back.
What's up, guys?
What's going on, man? How you doing?
Just grinding my life away. Just working hard every day. Getting ready for some fun stuff.
Yes,
A
sir.
lot of big days coming up. I have a tryout this weekend, and then if that doesn't go well, or if for some reason I don't stick with that team, then I have my first opportunity in Mexico. So then I'll
Nice.
be headed down there.
Nice. Talk to us a little bit. Can you tell what teams it is and all that stuff, or is it private stuff at the moment?
I could probably talk about it. It's probably not that big of a deal. I have a tryout with the Cubs.
Okay.
Yeah, so they called me and they want to check me out like more in person. So they have a private workout. I think they said between like 10 to 12 pitchers they have, and then like 5 or 6 hitters.
Mm-hmm.
So they invited us to Arizona. I'm going out to Mesa. The stadium's called Hohokam.
Nice.
And so we're going to be going to their spring training complex, and we're just going to do some live at bats. That's
Nice.
and then I have a good feeling about it. I feel good, feel healthy, feel ready. I've been working on some stuff to clean up some mechanics and just get better each day. And it's clicking. It's feeling good. I'm excited with how it's going to be. And then I was lucky enough because when they reached out to me, I was already signed to go to Mexico,
Mm-hmm.
and so the team in Mexico gave me the opportunity to push spring training back a week, because I was supposed to be there right now,
Mm-hmm.
and I think today is like practice number 3 for them. But they, because I got this opportunity with the Cubs, they allowed me to go to the Cubs workout and then just change my flights.
Nice.
So I got lucky with that one, and I'm very grateful for it. Um, so
Yeah, that's awesome.
Yeah, good on them.
yeah,
Frank, I've had the chance to see you in the off season a lot. You were in Quebec for a good chunk of it. Can you talk to us about like what you've been doing this off season? What are the things you've been focusing on? If you want to share that, or just what your schedule looked like this winter.
yeah. So I actually loved my routine when I was in Quebec. I had it couldn't have been more perfect. Like I would wake up, eat some breakfast. I would go over to the stadium. Um, Lucky enough, we have the bubble. Uh, that's a blessing up there. And I would do my long toss. I would do my bullpens, or I would throw live with you guys, and that was great. And then I would go into the gym and I would work out right after, and then I would head back. I thought it was, it couldn't be more perfect, especially with the weather up there. Um, and my main focus this off season was, first I wanted to get a little bit stronger because I noticed that this past year I didn't go to the gym as much during the season, so I think I lost a little bit of strength. And I noticed that one day when I was trying to bench 225 and I failed on the third rep, and I was like, "Whoa, I used to hit this for 10." Like, my strength is kind of gone, so let's get this back up. So then I started to do a little more strength training, and then I also found a guy on Instagram that had a lot of like athleticism workouts and like injury prevention and stuff like that. And I tagged him a lot on my Instagram. I don't remember exactly. I think it's like Garcia Effects Official. I followed a lot of his workouts.
Mm-hmm.
He posts a lot of good stuff. He does like oh, do you have knee pain? Do this. Do you have tennis elbow? Do this. Do you have bad posture? Do this. And he has like a bunch of like workouts that he does. Um,
Nice.
so it's all really good stuff. I found him recently, and I've been following his stuff. And pitching wise, I last year I was fastball slider, and I had success. But if I want to pitch at the next level, I feel like I'm going to need a third pitch. I have something that goes up, I have something that goes into a lefty or away from a righty, and then now I wanted something that tails into a righty or away to a lefty, just to give another look. So when I was over at Tread, me and my coach Hunter, he taught me how to throw a splitter. So that was really like the main one of the main goals this year, this off season, is just get comfortable throwing a splitter. Just so I could have that third pitch. Um, I'm really happy with the way that it turned out. Not I don't think that it's perfect yet, but I think that right now is like my uh, it's gonna be. I'm not gonna say my best pitch because I haven't thrown it to many batters yet, but it's going to be one of my go-tos, because I really like the way that it comes out of the hand. And like if it doesn't have that much movement, the thing with all my off speed is I just throw them as hard as I throw my fastball, and then I let the grip do the work, you know. So it really resembles the fastball. And like now I have the fastball and then the slider and the splitter. So I have that, like Trevor Bauer talks about, that triangle,
Hmm.
like to deceive the eye. And when I saw that video of him talking about that, I was like, wow, like that makes a lot of sense. Like so,
Hmm.
I think the splitter is going to be super important this year, especially with the higher level hitters this year in Mexico. There's a lot of veterans over there. There's a lot of guys that played in the big leagues. A lot of it's gonna be a challenge, but I'm not scared to come right after guys. I'm not scared of higher level hitters, because at the end of the day, I want to play in the big leagues.
Hmm.
And if I want to play in the big leagues, those are the best hitters in the world.
Yeah.
Mhm.
I mean, I can attest that pitch is disgusting. It's really not fun to broadcast with you when you throw that.
Yeah,
But
Yeah,
having
yeah.
you're a
faced
big,
you a little bit, I
yeah,
confirm, I concur. It's pretty
yeah,
good.
yeah.
Thank you, thank you.
Broke my
It's
bat.
pretty nasty. So I want to talk to you a little bit about um, the plyo balls project that you've been involved with. If you feel comfortable talking about that, because
Yeah.
I've been seeing them around for a little bit, and I told you I would get myself a set soon.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
So what's that project, and why is it better than all the other plyos?
So that's Stadium Sports Performance Balls.
Hmm.
It's founded by Alex Katz. He was a minor leaguer with a couple of different organizations. He also is the founder of Stadium Custom Kicks. He's a good friend of mine, and he asked me to come on board. And I like plyos. I like the seams, and I think that's the best part of them.
Hmm.
They have like an elephant print texture to it, which feels similar to a baseball. It's difficult to get the exact baseball feeling,
Hmm.
but I think this is as close as you could get. Um, and they have seams on them, and the seams are low, so it feels like a professional baseball. And I think that's good because, when you're throwing plyos, you don't want to really think about like throwing a plyo. You want
Hmm.
to think about like, all right, I'm getting ready to throw a baseball.
Hmm.
Because there's a lot of guys that I see that they just rip plyos, and then they throw the plyos faster than they throw baseballs. And I think that could be solved by using more baseball like plyos.
Hmm.
Um, Another cool thing about these plyos is we offer 7 different weights. I can't name them off the top of my head, but most plyo companies only offer 5.
Hmm.
So we have more variety. Um, and they also have the grams and the ounces printed on the ball. so you'll never not know
Yeah.
what weight you're throwing, because some throwing programs will be like, all right, you're going to use the 450 ounce or a gram,
Yeah.
450-gram ball to do this drill. And then if you have a ball that only has the ounces, then you're like, I don't know which ball this is, and then you're eyeballing it. You're just like, so that was another good feature that we have.
Yeah.
And then, I've been using them for probably 2 months, probably, and I love them. I have a new warm up routine that I do, and it feels really good, because no matter what weight you're using, you have seams, and you get that baseball like feel.
Hmm.
We actually did a test with these plyo balls, and we had someone throw a driveline plyo ball that was the same weight as one of our balls at the same intensity, and he threw our ball. After he threw the driveline ball, he was like, "Ah, that kind of slipped," and like we didn't tell him to say anything, like. And
Hmm.
then he threw our ball, and it was 4 miles an hour faster.
Damn,
Same intensity, same everything.
that's
So
crazy
that
fast.
when I saw that, I was like, "That's interesting," you
Yeah, that's
know.
a lot. Damn.
And like when if you're doing the throws with a ball that doesn't have seams, it kind of slips. It kind of promotes cutting, and in
Yeah,
order
that's what I
to
was gonna say.
yeah, in order to stay behind the ball, like you really have to focus on that aspect, and you're not really focusing on the throw. You're more focusing on, all right, let's stay behind this ball. Let's make sure like I'm getting the what I want out of it. And then there's just too many just moving parts. Like your brain's moving in 1,000 different directions instead of just focusing on, all right, point A to point B.
Hmm. Yeah, that's a good point.
It's
The cutting part,
yeah.
because I feel like every time I throw regular plyos, I have a tendency to, because you don't have spin on it, you don't see the spin, so
Mm-hmm.
you just kind of rip it, and you trust what feels good rather than what like
Mm-hmm.
actually is representative of a baseball, and then I get onto the baseball and everything cuts it because I'm early and I'm gonna release it.
Yeah.
I'm souping it
Yeah.
up.
And that's why the seams are cool, because you could
Yeah, you can see
feel
it.
that
Yeah.
true
Hmm.
backspin off of the ball.
Yeah, definitely. That's sick.
would you guys say that position players should use plyo balls or no?
I think arm strength is relative. Like I think every player like should have as much arm strength as they can. Like there would never be a problem with having too much arm strength.
Mm-hmm.
Hmm.
Like this we don't want that shortstop. He throws the ball too hard.
Yeah, nobody's gonna ever say that.
Yeah,
Like
said no one ever.
Yeah,
yeah.
I feel like
I
it's just
do
another tool. Go ahead, Frank.
yeah, yeah. I do think that the whole weighted balls aspect is an interesting topic for position players though, because they I think that they want to stay more athletic and more natural with their throw, and the plyo balls might make them think a little bit too much. Even though I think pitchers should stay athletic and trust the way that their body moves too, but we kind of have like a set position and like movement profile that we do on the mound when position players like they backhand, they throw off the run, they jump and throw, But I mean, again, to answer your question, I think plyo balls and arm strength is good for everyone.
Hmm.
I've seen catchers do plyo balls, like even I was talking to Kyle Crowell, and he messaged me. He goes, "Bro, like, why haven't I been doing plyo drills my whole life?" He goes, "I started doing some like this off season, and when I pick up the baseball now, like, wow." And I was like, "Yeah, bro, like it's really good. Like
Hmm.
helps your arm strength go up. Like the heavy balls, they promote a good arm action because your brain will subconsciously tell your arm like, hey, like you have to get into this position because this thing's heavy. Like if you don't throw it the right way, you're gonna blow out. So like your brain will subconsciously get into the right position, like when you throw with the heavy balls, and it promotes arm strength. And then with the lighter balls, it will promote arm speed,
Mm-hmm.
you know? So,
Would you think though that I talked about it a little bit in one of our recent posts about me throwing less plyos now because coming back from my injury I would only throw plyos because I would always have like a different throwing program, and not only but I was mostly throw plyos, didn't throw as many baseballs as I should have, and I kind of fucked up my mind because everything I was always focusing on was never the result, because when you throw plyo there's results kind of not really,
hmm
you can't really tell, even though if you're aiming or not. And the focus became all on my body and how I was feeling. So then when I picked up a baseball, rather than thinking, okay, I'm going to throw there, and that's where I judge my throw with is where the throw, ended up rather than how I felt. Now the focus was all on my body. And I talked a little bit about that. I was like, I feel like I might not be the only one doing that. Maybe I am, but I was just saying,
hmm
just I can see how some guys doing too many plyos uh,
hmm
can kind of impact their athleticism throwing and kind of take their focus off the right thing. Because the goal, as
Absolutely.
a position player, is still to fucking get it at first base, no matter what, like, no matter how it feels.
hmm And then you also find some of those the indoor warriors.
Hmm.
Like they rip plyos, they throw them super fast, and then they go to a mound, they take the baseball, and they're still throwing it super fast, and then you get them outside and you get them with a batter, and it's like you're playing dodgeball. You're up to bat and you're just trying to make sure you don't get hit with this 98-mile-an-hour fastball.
Yeah.
And I think that uh, so back to your question. Yeah, I mean, I definitely think that there's certain times in your training where ripping plyos is going to be the only focus.
Hmm.
Like just ripping the ball, like uh like a velocity gaining portion of your training. But I also believe that there comes to a point where like you're in season right now and that your job is to go out and get outs.
Hmm.
Like you have to go compete. So you want to
Exactly.
focus on getting that baseball to that glove, you know?
Exactly.
And sometimes you fall in love with the plyos. And that's also another reason why I like the stadium balls, because it feels like a baseball and you could use it to throw to a target.
Hmm.
Like you could tie your Jaeger bands to the fence or to the wall, and or get a piece of tape and create a square and be like, all right, I'm going to throw every ball into that square.
Hmm.
And that could be like your thought of throwing to the catcher,
Yeah.
like because some people they lose feel for the actual baseball,
Hmm.
and then also they just it just you just lose feel for the baseball.
Yeah. Yeah. Exactly. But I mean,
That that reminds
And then
me of
there's also go
oh,
ahead.
go ahead, Frank. I
All
was
right, I'll
gonna
go.
say it reminds me
Oh,
of
you go.
some Trevor Bauer video where he was training his control, and he puts the target on the mound, and then he's like tracking every pitch to just make sure like
hmm
training his control. And he also had the laser to really like. I remember he was heavy on that, and that reminded me of that.
Yeah.
So in training, I feel like you could implement that part of it that is often forgotten because you want to
hmm
just rip these plyos. But I think
yeah.
it's a good point you just
Oh,
made.
absolutely. At the end of the day, your job is to get outs. We're
Hmm.
pitchers. It's not a long toss competition. It's not a velo off. Like there's, and that's the crazy part about professional baseball and even college baseball. Like there's so many guys that throw 95 plus, but how many of them are in the big leagues? How many of them are in the minors? It's the talent all around the world is in the baseball world is insane.
Hmm.
And not that it wasn't. It just keeps evolving. Like kids are getting better and better and better. Like it's pretty nuts how good players are now.
Yeah.
And even like the younger kids, like there's 16-year-olds throwing 100. It's like when I was 16, I was still playing basketball.
Yeah. Yeah, no, that's wild. But I mean, at the end of the day, like you're saying, doesn't mean you're getting the job done on the field. So that's what really
Exactly.
matters. So I
Exactly.
just feel like with Playos, people that are scared of him or whatever, just don't take the focus away from the actual goal. And for me, when I was hurt, it was also kind of a coping mechanism that it was subconscious. But when you don't have to hit a target, it makes you feel better about yourself because you can have a great fucking catch when you don't throw to any target, right? So I would throw
Mm-hmm.
100 plyos, and as soon to me the success was I feel good. So I'd feel good for 75 of them. That was a great day. But then I get the next day and I'm throwing with GC and I'm all over the place.
Mm-hmm.
And it's like, well, maybe that last catch wasn't as good as I thought because the actual focus wasn't where it was supposed to be. So that's something to
Yeah.
always, remind yourself of, especially when you're
Mm-hmm.
off the field for I mean, it's obviously not something that happens to everybody, but if it does happen, remind yourself that, the goal is to get
Yeah.
guys out.
Exactly. And it's a big forgotten skill in today's game, the whole aspect of actually pitching.
No, it's wild.
It's crazy, right?
Yeah, kind of just
When
getting
you get
back
to that
into it
point.
this year. It's the first time this year in like 3-4 years that I'm actually feeling like I'm pitching out there for the first time. Like, okay, this is the game. Like, I can play this. Like, I don't have to.
Uh-huh.
I don't have to follow this scheme or whatever. I can be creative to get guys
Uh-huh.
out, and you know, a lot of things come into play. But
It
it's
comes
tough.
into the mind games too. Like, all right,
Exactly.
this guy, I threw him two sliders in a row. Like, do I want to stick with the slow stuff and throw him a splitter or a changeup, or do I want to speed his bet, or do I want to try to get one past him and throw a fastball?
Exactly.
Like, or all right, I threw slider, changeup. He saw two slow pitches. Now I'm gonna go heater and see if he can catch up.
hmm
It's or I went away. Now I'm gonna throw something in. Like,
hmm Exactly. This is all just fun games, man.
yeah. And that's exactly what it is too. A lot of people forget it's a game,
Yeah.
and if you're at the end of the day, if you're not having fun, then you got to find something else to do with your life,
Yeah.
because you travel the world, like the country, you're away from friends and family, you're
You're on the
at
field
least at
every
the
single day.
you're on the field every day until you make it to the big leagues. You're not really making a livable wage, like you still have to work a job on the side. And it's the best hitters go 1 for 3, 3 for 10. It's very mentally draining. So if you're not having fun with this game, I say like you either gotta find something to make yourself have fun, or like you gotta take a step back.
hmm
You know.
Definitely. Definitely. But really reminding yourself that it's a game is something that recently again kind of helped me get through some stuff. It's just like, dude, you can play. Like I said, you can get creative. You don't have to follow this scheme. You don't have to do what everybody else does. You don't have to start with first pitch
Hmm.
fastball because everybody throws first pitch fastball. You don't have to throw a three
Hmm.
two fastball because everybody does it. You can get guys out in different ways. You don't have to throw 97. You can throw 70% sliders if that's your best pitch. Like there's so many different ways to be successful. And when
Hmm.
you understand that it's an actual game, it's like you'd play anything else. Like if you're playing volleyball, and that's the thing too that I like to like relate things to when I'm talking to people now or kids. It's like, how would you approach this if it was your first time playing a different sport? And most of the times they're like, oh, well, I would do it like that. Or, if you were to go play beach volleyball with your friends, you'd find a way to be
Hmm.
good, even though it's not by the book because you don't know what the book is. Like, you
Yeah,
don't
because you
know.
don't know you don't know the rules. You don't know. You never got a
Exactly.
mechanical breakdown.
Exactly. But you find a
You just
way.
went out and trusted your athleticism.
Exactly.
You
And then
know.
it's like when you approach baseball like this, it just opens everything up. Like, oh, shit.
Hmm. Hmm. And a good way to uh remember like the have fun part. Like I know Tread posted a video yesterday on their YouTube. It was the like pretty much a career journey of this guy Alex Spees,
hmm
who he was a first rounder by the Texas Rangers. Then he got a little yipped up and he was wild. and he wasn't having fun playing anymore. So he quit baseball, and he got like it was because of his mental health and stuff. And then he was coaching, and like he was coaching younger kids, and the kids were like, "Oh, like you were a first rounder, like let's see you like get on the mound, like we want to see you throw." And he hopped on the mound, no warm ups, and threw 97. And he's like, you know what, like I love this game, like I want to play this game again. And then he's a big leaguer, and it's a really good story. Like I don't want to ruin the story, but it's Tread posted it. It's on their YouTube. It's Alex Spees.
That's awesome.
I think it was called like a Journey of Joy, something like that.
Hmm.
But it was pretty much a moral of it was when he was playing the baseball after he got drafted, he wasn't having fun. And then he went and he coached these 10, 11, 12-year-old kids, and he said that every day they showed up, they were smiling, they were having fun, they were playing the game it was the way it was supposed to be. And that brought him joy back to the game, and then he hopped on the mound for them through 97, and then he wanted to, get back into it, you know. And it's crazy because I saw this guy. He's this tall, really lean dude, and he gets on the mound one day and he goes, "All
Hmm.
right, fastball, whap, 96," and I was like,
Inside
Okay.
with no cleats on.
yeah, yawning.
Yeah,
I was like, yeah, that's what a big leaguer looks like.
yeah,
That's crazy.
it's
And
great,
he's a
man.
super nice dude too, like one of the most genuine people there is. Like he just really like has a love for the game, and he's not sure if he's married, but I think he's married. He has a kid. And that's another thing that like kind of brought him away from the game for a little bit because he was like, I want to spend time with my family.
Hmm.
So, everyone, it's understandable.
Yeah, for
Absolutely.
sure.
It's your family.
Hmm.
And then he also said that he thinks that his family was happier watching him perform on the field. So that was kind of cool. That was pretty
Yeah,
cool.
yeah.
Who's that guy with the Giants that I think tried to commit suicide and then got back up? He was in the minor leagues with the Giants.
Oh, didn't he have like his
Um,
eye, something did damage to his
his
to his
eye. He
eye?
tried to
Yeah.
shoot himself in the eye, and now
Oh, yeah, I
Drew
seen that.
Robinson. Drew Robinson with
Okay.
the Giants. He was a minor leaguer for them. I think he played. I'm not sure. I don't want to say something I don't know, but he was in their org and tried to, shoot himself because of
Yeah, and
the.
then he lost sight in one of his eyes. I remember hearing
Yep.
that. I don't know
And
any
then
details about it, but
now, he's like a mental, like he's a speaker for with the Giants. He works as like a, a mental performance
mhm.
coach, and he's now
Mhm.
like super grateful and stuff, and he's worked on it, I think.
Oh
So
yeah, if you
yeah,
go
a
through
couple of
something like
stories like
that,
that. Yeah.
then yeah.
Mm.
And that's baseball and the outside sources. Outside like distractions and like life
Mm.
itself. Like that's why I believe that if you're not having fun playing this game, like it's tough. Because there's so much time, effort, and I mean anything in life. If you really put your mind to it and you put a lot of time and effort in, it's gonna consume you. But like when the best players in the world like they fail 70% of the time, like that's how you know that this game is tough. Like name another profession besides like a weatherman where you could be wrong or fail 70% of the time, and they could be like, you know what, you're one of the
Amazing.
best.
No, I can't think of one.
The fans don't get as heated for weather than baseball games, though.
Yeah,
The fan
yeah.
base
If
is a
they
little
say
more forgiving.
they say it's gonna be sunny, and I go outside and it's raining, I'm like, you know what? He was right yesterday. He's still really good.
Yeah, exactly. I don't think
I mean, it's
anybody says
predicting
that,
the
but
future. Like it's
yeah,
impossible.
Yeah.
Mm.
I don't know.
But
I just feel like the
yeah,
stakes are a little. I don't want to say. I don't want to say it because I don't know. But
You know how
maybe
many
there's a lot.
weathermen are watching?
Yeah, there might be a lot of heat in the weatherman department.
and I had a coach, Dennis Holmberg. Shout out to Dennis. he would always talk about the baseball gods. Like
Uh-huh.
always,
They're real.
like if it was raining, he was like, "Nah, the baseball gods don't want us playing today, boys. Don't get excited." It was his way of keeping us like grounded all the time. You know, you didn't get a
Hey,
hit today.
baseball gods are real.
Yeah, man.
I
Like,
definitely believe in them.
and he was like, you know, when you take good ground balls and you're diligent and you work hard, you it's like a prayer to the baseball gods. And if you do enough of the things, you go out on the field and you'll get results. He turned it into a whole thing, and I was like, you know, at first you were kind of like, I was like 16. I was, what are you talking about, man? I don't know. But now I fully understand where he's coming from. Like you give up
Hmm.
the control over it. Just work hard, put your head down, respect the game, and hopefully you get results.
Absolutely.
Sometimes and sometimes you won't, and you know. But
But
that way you
they
can just
always
keep
really
showing up.
do reward, or whenever your team's going really bad or whatever, like it always seems to all go wrong at the same time. The umpires are against you, everybody's against you. They always hit bloopers. You have the shitty mistakes. I feel like this is something that's real. The gods
Yeah.
definitely like
Oh yeah.
punish you for playing the game poorly and having bad
Hmm.
attitude.
Hmm. Absolutely.
Yeah.
The good old baseball gods.
Mm.
Definitely something that's real. What else, man? So when are you leaving for Arizona? You said.
So I have a flight on Saturday,
Okay.
and then the workout is 2 o'clock on Sunday, their time, and then so that's what 4 o'clock here, 5 o'clock here. I
Yeah, I
think
think
it
it's
we
5.
passed we pushed the clocks back, so
Mhm.
I think it's 5 o'clock here now. Um, and then if not, if they don't keep me, then I have a flight the next day at I want to say like 9 a.m. to Mexico.
Damn. So it's
So
one day. So it's a one day deal.
one day, one bullpen, one live session. If I do good, they say, "Hey, get your stuff, go into the clubhouse." And if not, they say, "Get your stuff and get out."
Dude, that's
That's
crazy. One
that's
day,
kind of
man.
exciting.
Yeah,
One lives. That's
yep,
Yeah,
not a
bro.
bad.
yeah. Whole
Jesus.
career relies on one live outing.
That's
It's not like I had
crazy.
46 live outings this past season.
Yeah.
I mean, they
Damn, bro.
probably have an idea, a general idea of who's coming, and they've probably done their scouting beforehand. I can't imagine they're just like, "Oh, okay, you did
Yeah.
good. You hit a bomb tonight.
Yeah, they're
Let's sign
definitely not going in blind.
Yeah.
You know,
That's crazy, dude.
it's exciting stuff. You
Yeah,
know,
for sure.
I love doing stuff like this.
Do you know
You
any
know,
other guys that are
it's
going to?
I know couple
Hmm.
pitchers. I
Nice.
know one of my buddies from out here, and then another guy from Tread.
Nice.
So
Nice.
trying to find somewhere in Mesa or Scottsdale area to stay instead of getting another hotel. But
Hmm.
we'll see. Hotels are kind of steep right now, especially
Yeah.
during like spring training time.
Right.
Yeah,
They
I'm
all
sure that's
they
it's
all
very
boost their
expensive.
prices up
Yeah.
because everyone's going down there to watch the game. So they're like, hey, it's supply and demand. You know.
Yeah,
Hmm.
definitely. Business,
It's a
baby.
great time of the year, though. Spring training in Florida and Arizona, I feel like it's exciting. You get everyone's down there. All the baseball people are in the same place at
Hmm.
the same time, and you
Yeah.
know, getting started. It's exciting to
Hmm.
go see some spring training games. I feel like the vibes are always good.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I've never been to a spring training game. You know, I have
Really?
a couple family members that go to Florida spring training all the time. I have a couple buddies that go out there, and you know, I
It's nice.
never been.
You should go. It's really nice.
Yeah. I want to go play in one.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's what I meant.
Yeah. I feel like it's good for the game too that I feel like the fans can feel closer to the players when they go down there because it's kind of like more small, more regular venues. Like when you go to the minor league complex in early spring where everybody's there, like you can kind of see the players. I feel like it's
Hmm.
a
Hmm.
good fan experience. I don't know if the
Oh,
guys like it,
absolutely.
but
Yeah.
and it's not as hot as in the
They
summer.
they signed up for it, so they got to
Yeah,
deal with it.
yeah, exactly. I feel like it's kind of a cool way to start the year. A bunch of crazy stuff happens. Some rookies or guys that aren't supposed to do good are performing. I feel like it's kind of a cool stage.
Yeah.
Frank, you got a
Yeah.
major league team you're rooting for? Like, who's your
I
team?
mean, I grew up a Yankee fan. It's funny, I actually have this water bottle as a Yankee bottle. But I mean, I don't follow, like, I don't know what Aaron Judge's batting average is. I don't know how many strikeouts Marcus Stroman had yesterday. I don't really follow that. Like, I'll just throw on any baseball game and watch it for entertainment, you
Mhm,
know? But I guess you could say I'm a Yankees fan.
mhm.
Okay.
Yeah.
I actually had my bedroom when I grew up was Yankees theme. We actually had someone come in and like paint Yankees jerseys on my wall, and it was like we made it like it was a Hall of Fame. Like so we had a jersey that had Mickey Mantle, Frank Moscatiello, and Babe Ruth,
Yeah. That's
There you
sick.
go.
and it was painted on my wall, and it was pretty cool.
Yeah, that's sick.
That's amazing.
I had an
So
A-Rod
I
wallpaper in my room.
yeah. I don't know if you could see it. I have all these. I got Mariano Rivera, Derek Jeter, the 2004 Yankees, the 2005 Yankees,
Mm-hmm.
another Mariano Rivera over there. What else we got?
All right, so I mean, pretty dedicated fan.
Yeah, yeah. My grandpa, he used to with the newspaper, like these things right here. They were all they're like these little coins that they have all the Yankees on it, and he would send in, like he would get the newspaper, and then he would send it in to somebody or like some company, and they would send him like the weekly coin. So like sent it in this day, and then you get Hideki Matsui. Then you send it in this day, you get Derek Jeter. You send it in this day, you get Jason Giambi. And like he collected the full team, the 2004 team.
That's
So it was
crazy.
pretty cool.
That's
That's
dedication right there.
Mhm.
good memories.
Mhm.
It's really
Yeah.
sick.
I did the same thing with Montreal Canadiens. You could go to me. I remember to like Tim Hortons and collect these like coins of players. Like same thing you're talking about. I would do that
Uh
with my
huh.
dad. And it's good memories, for sure.
Yeah.
Hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah,
What
man.
else do I got? It's all good stuff. Love those memories.
Yeah,
Yeah,
man. It's awesome. And a lot of nice memories coming up too. A lot of good things
Mhm.
ahead of you, man. That's awesome. It's
Yeah.
exciting.
Got a big weekend coming up. I threw my final bullpen yesterday before my departure.
Hmm.
I'm gonna play catch tomorrow. Probably do a little light lawn toss. Just feel stuff out. Maybe a short box or a flat ground just to like feel the mechanics still. So I'm changing it up a little bit. Not changing it, but like fine tuning. Trying to time up my delivery better. And yesterday was probably one of the best that it seemed. Um, so we're on our way up. We're on our way to you know some good movement, some a lot of strikes, and on our way to some outs, and hopefully a contract.
Hell yeah, baby.
hell yeah,
It's
man. I
awesome.
think I know.
And if not, then we're on our way to Mexico.
Yeah.
Well, no matter what happens,
Well,
man,
man.
I think you're an example of hard work and grinding, and definitely someone to look up to. I mean, personally right now, but I mean, for people that don't know you, or I would definitely recommend check your stuff out, and because you've been an example in this whole process, and I wishing you all the best, man.
I appreciate that. Yeah, it's a long journey. 6 years of in. I went from Division II, undrafted All American, um, 6 years of indie ball. A couple releases, couple trades. I found a home in Quebec, and then I pitcher of the year, reliever of the year actually, and and then now I get to go a couple tryouts, and then a little bit of an upgrade, and I go play in the LMB.
Mm-hmm.
Where it's just a bunch of. I like to say it's another chapter in the book. You
Very
know,
nice.
it's just stepping stones. You know, and I always used to think of indie ball as like it's a paid internship.
Hmm.
You know, it's an internship for the big leagues.
Yeah, it's a good way of
So,
looking
Yeah,
at it.
yeah,
you know, you go out and you show that you could do it and you're good at the job and then they promote you. You know, so now I'm going to the next level up, going to Mexico, and then I'm going to show that I could do it there, um, at a higher level, and then boom, here, big leagues, here we come.
hell
Sir,
yeah,
baby.
man. We'll be rooting for you for sure. Always following your stuff, and personally got to see you working out this off season, and it's the real deal. Like it's you come in every day and put in the work, so it's no eye wash. And we're super grateful to see you in action this winter, and I'm behind you for sure, and we'll wish you the best of luck for this weekend, man.
I appreciate that.
Yes,
Yeah,
sir.
we'll definitely keep in touch.
Yes, sir. Always
Yes,
fun
sir.
talking to you, man. Thanks so much.
All right, dude.
Appreciate you guys.
Yes, sir, and good luck.
Thanks.
Thank you.
Thanks. See you, man.